What's up, dudes and dudes to the internet? My name's Scyushi, and we are back in some more Trove. I know I took a little bit of a break there, and I kind of talked about that with all of you guys in the Luxian video, as well as the Trove uninstall video. But yeah, I've been absolutely obsessed with Path of Exile, but we're gonna get back into the swing of things here, so be patient. And we're going to be starting off with the best magic ally in the game. It's actually going to be very similar to the last video I made about the best physical ally, but I kind of wanted to go through some extra details that you guys let me know in the comments of the last video, as well as just kind of my perspective of obtaining this ally and so on and so forth. I have had this guy for a little bit, like maybe a couple weeks, maybe. Yeah. But hey, it's finally here. So this is going to end up being the Mini Water Manabeast. And it is... Oh, is that not how you type it? Let me see. Ally... Oh, Manabeast is one word, that's why. So this gives 25% magic damage, 15% crit damage, and 200 light. And there's actually an interesting reason why this turns out to be as powerful as it is, because you might look at like, you know, the Paragon allies, and you might be like, well, these end up giving you significantly more light. Not to mention there's the Star Chart allies as well. Starry Skyfire in particular gives like a lot of stuff, including a cooldown, which can definitely be better in some cases. But if we're talking just raw damage, that's going to end up going to the Mini Water Manabeast and the Mini Fire Manabeast. Because, as you guys ended up explaining to me, that 15% crit damage isn't just adding 15% on top of my very limited crit damage on my Dino Tamer, because I don't have him built properly right now. Point being is that would be additive, but instead this number, and I'm gonna butcher this word, is multiplicative. So that's 15% of your total crit damage. So that's why the damage multiplier of these is so good, because I kept thinking it was just an additional 15% added on top of everything, because so many aspects of the game just do that. But again, you guys ended up explaining, no, that's not the case. So that's why it ends up having such insane amounts of damage scaling versus the less light that you get, because for those that are uninitiated, light is basically armor penetration for end game enemies. And that's why it's like such a required item. The way that you end up getting it is quite expensive, because you do have to max out the mystic arts in order to even get to the point of crafting these. At which point it takes 5,000 of the crystallized aquatic mana and then a bunch of gem dust. Not really that important, the gem dust. A little trick is that this mana tome right here, this is a tome that you can repeatedly do over and over and over again. And its description is wrong, because it says that it gives you 200 crystallized mana fragments when fully charged, and that's it. But it actually gives you like an additional 45, I think, of every mana type. Because for perspective, I haven't actually been grinding the fire mana since I crafted this sucker. But because I've been continually doing my tome and so on and so forth, it turns out that it's actually just been slowly building up. Now, where you actually would farm the rest of these manas, which actually, funny enough, I seem to be able to just do all of them, my god. Well, that's cool. Obviously, these don't have much practicality, but let me just show you one of these little mobs right here for you guys. Basically, it's gonna be one of these guys. They're not gonna have the cone for you guys on console, obviously, because that's a visual mod so that they stand out like a sore thumb. But yeah, farming these guys specifically can be pretty annoying, so I would recommend getting the tome, because then you'll just completely get all of the different mana types at once, instead of just having to get the mana from these guys, which it ranges from like 1 to 7 mana, I think. Maybe there's a little bit more margin there, but either way, it is essentially asking you to kill thousands of that one particular enemy type, which can be pretty cursed when they don't actually generate underwater. They just generate on the islands, and most of this area is going to end up being underwater. The point being is I noticed that it was a lot easier to grind the fire beasts. I don't know why that is. They just seemed to be a lot more common. But for the best bang for your buck, the way that you would actually farm these guys isn't even by going for them at all. You would get this home, and then you would just end up joining like a 5-star ship run or something like that. Sundered Uplands 5 stars, you know, because you can do them over and over again. It completes lots of dungeons really quickly. And I ended up doing one of those runs, and incidentally, that's why I have so much of the mana, because it just goes so absurdly fast. Anyways, that's gonna do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Hope that you enjoyed this return back to form. I'm still gonna be pretty obsessed with Path of Exile 2, but I got some other videos focused on like tutorials and stuff for Path of Exile that are gonna be coming out. And I'm hoping to kind of get things a little bit more structured again, instead of the constant like 9-hour live streams that I've been doing lately, which no promises that I won't continue doing that, but now it kind of feels like the hype is starting to die down a little bit for me, and I'm still really obsessed with that game, but now we can kind of take focus of, you know, getting everything back to normal on the channel. With all of that said, I would appreciate if you would like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, buy the merch you want to support the channel. It's as cheap as it can possibly be. I'll have my Game of the Year video done soon, TM. I'm almost done with it. This week on Thursday, actually, if you guys want to catch me streaming my reaction to the Game Awards, because that's going to be hilarious to watch Black Myth Wukong win.